What if you are the next person whose brain starts showing warning signs, and you do not recognize them until it is too late? Right now, millions of adults over 65 are living their normal lives, completely unaware that small changes in memory, thinking, or daily habits may be trying to get their attention. The scary part is that these warning signs often do not arrive with a loud alarm. They appear quietly, they seem harmless, they look like ordinary mistakes. That is exactly why so many people ignore them. Maybe it starts with a conversation you cannot fully remember. Maybe it is a familiar place that suddenly feels confusing. Or perhaps it is a small change that your family notices before you do. Most people tell themselves, "I'm just getting older." And sometimes they are right. But sometimes there may be more to the story. Today's video is not about fear. It is about paying attention. Because when it comes to brain health, small clues are often easier to spot than big ones. And the people who notice those clues early often have more time to understand what may be happening and speak with a healthcare professional if needed. Now, it is important to remember that these signs do not automatically mean someone has dementia. Many health conditions can cause similar symptoms. The goal of this video is simply to help you recognize changes that may deserve attention. Before we continue, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments, what is one thing you do every day to keep your mind active? Warning sign number 9. Getting lost in familiar places. Imagine driving to a store you have visited for years. You know the route so well that you normally do not even think about it. Then one day, you suddenly feel unsure about where you are. You miss a familiar turn. For a moment, a place you know well feels strangely unfamiliar. Everyone gets distracted sometimes, but when confusion begins happening repeatedly in familiar places, it may be worth paying attention. Warning sign number 8. Repeating the same stories. Many families notice this sign before the person experiencing it does. A story gets told once, then again later the same day. The person is not doing it on purpose. They simply may not remember that they already shared it. And what comes next may be even easier to miss because it often happens during ordinary conversations that most people have every single day. Warning sign number 7. Struggling to follow conversations. Have you ever been in a conversation and suddenly felt like everyone was moving too fast? A family member asks a question. Someone else joins the conversation. A few minutes later, you realize you have lost track of what everyone is talking about. Most people experience this once in a while, but this warning sign is different. Some people begin finding it harder to follow discussions they once handled with ease. Group conversations may feel confusing. They may need people to repeat information more often. Sometimes they simply stop participating because keeping up becomes frustrating. What makes this sign difficult to spot is that many people blame hearing problems, stress, or tiredness. And sometimes those things are the real cause. But when this starts happening regularly, it may be worth paying attention. The reason families often notice it first is because they see the person becoming quieter during conversations they once enjoyed. But the next warning sign can be even harder to recognize because it involves something many people think is completely normal. Warning sign number 6. Remembering the distant past, but forgetting recent events. This pattern surprises many families. A person may tell detailed stories from 30 or 40 years ago. They remember old friends, childhood experiences, and important life events with amazing accuracy. Then something strange happens. They struggle to remember a conversation from yesterday. They forget what happened earlier in the week. They cannot recall information that was recently shared with them. This difference between old memories and recent memories is something many families notice long before they become seriously concerned. Of course, forgetting something occasionally is normal. Everyone does it. The important thing is noticing whether it becomes a repeated pattern over time. And now we are moving into the warning signs that often begin affecting daily life in a more noticeable way. The next signs are not just about memory. They can influence decisions, routines, confidence, and even relationships with other people. That is why many families say, these were the moments that finally made them realize something had changed. Warning sign number 5. Trouble managing money or paying bills. Let's move to a warning sign that families often notice very quickly. Think about something you have done for years. Paying bills, managing a bank account, keeping track of monthly expenses. For most people, these tasks become part of a routine. They do not require much thought. But sometimes a person begins making unusual mistakes with money. Bills are forgotten, payments are missed, numbers become confusing. Financial decisions that once seemed simple suddenly feel overwhelming. The reason this sign gets attention is because it can affect everyday life. Family members may notice unopened bills, forgotten payments, or decisions that seem unusual for that person. One mistake does not mean something is wrong. Everyone makes mistakes. The concern comes when the same type of problem starts appearing again and again. Warning sign number 4. Losing interest in favorite activities. Now let's talk about a sign that is often misunderstood. Many people naturally slow down as they get older. That is normal. But sometimes a person begins pulling away from activities they once truly enjoyed. Maybe they loved gardening but no longer seem interested. Maybe they always attended family gatherings but now prefer staying home. Maybe hobbies that once brought excitement suddenly feel like too much effort. This change often happens slowly. Because it develops over time, families may not notice it right away. The person may not notice it either. But when favorite activities, hobbies, and social events are consistently avoided, it may be a sign worth paying attention to. Warning sign number 3. Difficulty planning simple tasks. This next sign can be especially frustrating. Imagine trying to organize a simple day, a grocery trip, a doctor's appointment, a family visit. These things once felt easy. Now they feel confusing. Some people begin struggling with tasks that require planning or organization. Steps get mixed up. Simple routines become harder to manage. Things that once took a few minutes suddenly take much longer. What makes this warning sign important is that it affects everyday independence. And now we are approaching the final 2 warning signs on our list. These are often the signs that family members notice first. They can change the way a person behaves, reacts, and interacts with the people around them. And for many families, these final signs are the ones that are hardest to ignore. Warning sign number 2. Noticeable changes in mood or personality. Now we come to a warning sign that often surprises families more than memory problems. Imagine someone you have known for years. You know how they react to situations. You know their personality. You know their habits. Then, little by little, something starts to feel different. A person who was once calm becomes unusually irritated. Someone who was always relaxed seems worried much more often. Others may become suspicious, impatient, or emotionally sensitive in situations that never bothered them before. Of course, everyone has stressful days. Everyone experiences mood changes from time to time. The difference is when these changes become noticeable and continue over a longer period. Family members are often the first to spot this warning sign because they know the person so well. They may not be able to explain exactly what changed, but they can tell something feels different. And now we arrive at the final warning sign on today's list. Warning sign number 1. Memory changes that begin affecting daily life. When most people think about dementia, this is usually the sign they imagine first, but it is not simply forgetting a name once in a while. It is not forgetting where you left your glasses one afternoon. Those things happen to everyone. This warning sign becomes more concerning when memory changes start affecting everyday life. For example, a person may repeatedly ask the same questions, forget important appointments, struggle to remember information they recently learned, or depend heavily on notes and reminders for tasks they once handled easily. The important thing is not one single mistake. The important thing is a pattern that appears over time. If you noticed several signs from today's list, do not panic. These signs do not automatically mean someone has dementia. Sleep problems, stress, medications, hearing difficulties, depression, and other health conditions can sometimes cause similar symptoms. The most important thing is not to ignore persistent changes. Paying attention early may help you understand what is happening and decide whether it is time to speak with a healthcare professional. This video is for educational purposes only. Please consult your healthcare provider for medical advice. Now tell me in the comments, which warning sign surprised you the most? If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more simple health information designed for older adults. Thank you for watching. Your brain is one of your most valuable assets. Take care of it, stay curious, stay active, and I'll see you in the next video.